Hi friends, how are you all? Hope all of you are doing fine. Hope all of you are doing well. Hope all of you are watching my videos and learning English every day. So please be consistent. Keep reading every day. Please watch my videos every day. Read along with me and definitely one day you will be fluent in English. So now we will move into our English reading time. So today we will look at a new chapter, 5 spoons of salt. Let's start reading. One morning, Ajji told Ajja, "Today is a Shante, a village market day, which happens once in a week. Why don't you take the children and show them the Sante? Actually, it's pronounced Sante. And buy vegetables and other things for the house." Ajja, who normally would have said yes, was hesitant. "How will I manage all the children? That too at the Sante. Remember what happened at the Jatre, the fair? At least they had a temporary police assistance booth. There will be nothing of the sort at the Sante." Ajji agreed. This was a problem. Then she had an idea. "Why don't we ask Vishnu if he can spare Damu for a few hours? Damu can accompany you and help see that the children are all right." So I'm turning the page. Damu was Vishnu Kaka's right hand man. Everyone called him Mr. Dependable. He drove the car, cooked, looked after the fields, the accounts, and made sure Vishnu Kaka was well cared for. Without him, Vishnu Kaka could not run the house or do anything in the fields. Vishnu Kaka's son lived with his family in Delhi and came only for holidays, so Damu was his real companion. So it was that all 7 children and Damu and Ajja were now ready to visit the Sante. Damu had a plan. "The Sante is only 2 kilometers away. Why don't we walk and let your Ajja go in the auto?" The children were horrified. "Walk for 2 kilometers in the heat? It would be so boring too," added Raghu. But Damu had made up his mind. "Walk with me. I will tell you such wonderful stories that you will forget everything, even the heat." The children agreed. Then Meenu had a condition. It had to be a true story, Damu Anna. Anna means brother. Damu was unfazed. "I'll tell you a story about my sister. Do you know how I came to be Mr. Dependable? I saw what happened to her once because she was forgetful and decided never to let that happen to me." So he started his story. "Geeta, where are you? I need you to run down to the store and get these medicines for me." Geeta's grandfather called out for her. Where was Geeta? She was lying in the bed reading a book. For a long time she pretended not to have heard what her grandfather was saying. The book was just too exciting and it was so hot outside. She really did not feel like stirring out of the bed. "Geeta!" This time her mother's voice also called out to her. With a sigh, the girl got out of the bed and went to see what needed to be done. Her grandfather handed her some money and said, "I have a really bad headache since morning. Will you get these medicines for me?" Geeta took the money and set off for the store. On the way, she passed by a sweet shop. Oh, what lovely gulab jamuns and laddus and jalebis were displayed. She had to have some. Forgetting all about her errand, she entered the shop and started tucking into sweets. Soon, a friend came by and joined her. The two girls ate and chatted for a really long time. Geeta had forgotten all about her poor grandfather with a headache. Afternoon turned to evening. The medicine store shut for the day. When Geeta remembered why she had stepped out of her house. When she hurried back home, how upset her grandmother was. "When will you grow up, Geeta, and become responsible?" he sighed and asked. Sorry, grandfather. I'm turning the page. So here we see Geeta, how she's eating everything. Geeta felt really bad. But did she mend her ways? No, she remained the same forgetful person. When her mother told her to collect the clothes from the washing line outside, she remembered to do so only the next morning. By then, the clothes were soaked through all over again because of the overnight rains. Another day, she had to take her sister's lunchbox to the school. On the way, she saw a circus was in town all morning. Geeta spent wandering around the circus tents, watching the animals eating and training for their acts. It was Only when she felt hungry herself did she look down at the lunch box in her hand and realized her sister must have gone home by then, after spending a day in school without her lunch. Another time, her father, while rushing to get ready for work, asked if she could quickly iron his shirt. Geeta picked up the shirt and placed it on the ironing table next to the window. Just then, the fruit vendor passed by with big, fat, juicy mangoes in his basket. Of course, Geeta forgot all about the hot ironing sitting on the shirt and got engrossed in choosing the best mangoes to buy. Only when smoke started billowing out and the shirt had burnt as crisp as a toast did she look around and see what had happened. Her father was very upset indeed that day. Some days after this incident, Geeta came home from school and announced that the whole class was being taken for a picnic the next day. The teacher had asked each student to bring one food item from home, which would be shared by all the children. Geeta had chosen to bring sambar. She was very proud of her mother's tasty, tangy sambar and was eager to share it with her friends so they could taste it too. Geeta's mother agreed to make a big pot of sambar for her to take to the picnic the next day. And that night, Geeta went to bed feeling very happy, dreaming about the exciting day ahead. The next morning, her mother woke up early and started making the sambar. She boiled the dal, added the vegetables, coconut, and all the spices, and set the pot boiling on the stove. Soon, a delicious aroma wafted out from the pot and tickled Geeta's nose as she lay sleeping in bed. Seeing her stir, her mother told her, Geeta, wake up now, dear. See, the sambar is ready. Done. I'm going to the temple. So after some time, just add 5 teaspoons of salt to it. Don't forget now and wake up and get ready quickly. So saying, she bustled off. Geeta's grandmother, who was in the kitchen, heard all this and muttered to herself, when will my daughter-in-law learn that Geeta can never remember anything? I'm sure the girl will forget to add the salt. Then she will be teased by all her friends. Better be careful. So saying, she went and added the salt in the pot. Geeta's grandfather was sitting on the veranda reading his newspaper. He remembered only too well the day he had spent with a headache waiting for Geeta to return with the medicines which never came. Geeta had remember something? That'll be the day, he muttered and went to the kitchen and added the salt and the sambar himself. Geeta's sister was combing her hair ready to go off to school. She too recalled the day she had spent feeling hungry in school, waiting for Geeta to return up with her lunchbox. Sure that Geeta would forget about the salt and be laughed at by her friends, she quickly went into the kitchen and added 5 spoons of salt. Geeta's brother was brushing his teeth and hearing his mother's words to his sister. Guessed she would forget about the salt. He dropped in a few spoons of salt into the pot and went off. Geeta's father was carefully ironing his own shirt. Like the others, he too slipped into the kitchen and added salt to the pot of sambar. By now, Geeta had woken up and wonders remembered she needed to add the salt, so she too went and added 5 teaspoons as her mother had told her to do. By now her mother had returned and quickly poured the sambar into a big container and sent her daughter off to her picnic. So we'll end it over here and we'll continue it tomorrow. So yeah, we'll keep it, uh, as usual. We keep it you know curious, because it's an interesting story. All of you read along with me, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Thank you.